It was fresh autumn. Daniel was in the car with Connor. Connor and Daniel had been together for over at least 8 months. Connor was driving the car, steadily, while they both had snuck out of their homes just to get into the vehicle in general. Connor had snuck out because of his uncle. For some reason, Connor just didn't like him. But for Daniel just snuck out for the sake of Connor.
Do you want me to drive you home now?
Connor asked Daniel as politely as he could.
Sure, Connor. You can stay with us if you want.
Daniel replied as respectfully as he could.
I really need to get out of this hellhole of a town.
Connor said as the car had fastened a bit.
We will eventually, Connor.
Daniel said calmly. Daniel started to notice that the car was going a bit more faster than it should have. The speed limit was at least to 50, while Connor was going at least like 70. It got so fast he could barely see the trees, but the one thing he could see though was about to be in front of them.
Connor, stop! We're gonna hit the tree!
I woke up. I was in a pool of my own sweat. It was a nightmare of that horrible, horrible day. Daniel, wake up. Nicole said to me as she shook me. It's Saturday, Nicole said. I bent over my knees to get to Nicole's level.
You want to visit Kyle? I gotta handle some things, and I can't leave you at home by yourself.
Nicole nodded her head. I went into my room to call Kyle. I got my phone and I called him.
Hey Kyle, can you take care of Nicole? For me? For a few hours at least?
I asked.
Sure, she can stay at my house for a bit.
He responded. I walked over to the house and dropped Nicole off. Nicole hugged me and asked how long she would be there. I told her that she was probably gonna be there for not that long. And then I went back home. I opened the door to my room. I turned on the Wii and went to the Me channel.
Hi,
Daniel?
Corrupted greeted.
Okay, so I understand that you're probably confused, so I'll try to explain it to you the best way I can.
Adelaide said.
A few questions and an explanation, that's new.
I replied.
Your cousin Kyle has 2 Wiis. One where everything started, the other which is this one. Me and Kyle don't really like each other because he deleted me. And when you do that, it's like giving a me cancer or physical illness. However, I can get back from getting deleted for some reason. Then he gave it to a girl who was a lot nicer. She tried inviting him over to get everything that was happening. Basically a whole background information about me and him. From both point of views, I don't blame her for that. But it just ended in an argument. After the arguing then
the
We melted.
Corrupted interrupted nervously.
that's...
Why so
Confused, Adelaide.
good? That's
What happened, right?
right.
Adelaide was silent. It seemed like he wanted to say more, but he probably didn't have much of a choice. I really didn't know what to think. All I could think of is who kind of sick being would program that. Maybe they don't feel it. But then at the same time, from what he said, it was like giving someone cancer or a mental illness to physical illness. I didn't know what to think. After all, it's just so bizarre.
So, you're telling me that deleting Maze is like giving them internal cancer of physical illness, and he knew about this, but didn't learn.
Yup.
That aside, what is your guys' problem with each other? It seems you guys don't like each other.
Both were silent.
Oh, keeping secrets. Real nice. Totally what friends would do.
We aren't trying to hide anything from you, Daniel. There's seriously no drama between me and him.
Well, I have to pick up Nicole.
I went back to the house to pick up Nicole. Nicole and Kyle were just playing some game out in the yard.
Come on, Nicole. It's about time for dinner anyway.
I told Nicole, okay.
Thank you for taking care of her, Kyle.
I thanked Kyle. Me and Nicole eventually walked home. I made Nicole a snack and gave it to her. Then she walked back to her room. I went up the stairs to get to my room, but the door was wide open, and the TV was still on, but it was just static.
What the? Why is it on? I could have sworn I turned it off when I left.
I said to myself. I walked a little more closer to the TV to see that it switched to the hallway picture again.
Hello, Daniel.
The strange voice replied.
Who the hell are you and what the bloody hell do you want?
I asked frightfully.
That's a bit rude, especially since you don't know me that well.
He answered.
What do you want?
I asked, frightened.
Does that really matter right now?
What do you mean?
Don't you want to know how I know who you are and what you've been through? I think you would also like to know about Edelin and Corrupted's history together. But yet, you don't ask me that now, do you?
Well, yes, but
Then why didn't you ask me those questions?
I don't know, okay?
Well, don't worry too much about it. You'll have those answers soon anyway.
Why was he making such a big deal about what I asked? It was the average answer for a situation like this. I didn't even think of anything he told me I could have asked. It was weird. Why did he pick at that? Then the TV shut off. So many questions were in my head. Who was this person, and what was their motive? Did they even mean any harm? I was so tired, I took a nap. I woke up to the sound of knocking. I opened the door, and I saw her.
Hey, is there any chance I could use your phone?
She said to me. Her voice was soft and sweet. I had never heard a girl like her, but despite her pretty voice, she looked horrible. I'm not talking about her physical appearance, it was just, she was beaten up so badly. She had bruises all over her legs, and a black eye, not to mention a bit of some cuts here and there. I let her in. I asked her who she was trying to call.
Yeah, it's my mom. I just need her to pick me up and take me to the hospital.
She told me. I called the mother, concerned. Her mother came in. Her mother was a lot different from her, though. She wore her hair in a ponytail, and it seemed like she had heterochromia. She seemed to be a businesswoman, although she didn't seem very friendly. She sounded mean and a little raspy, like she barely cared, especially from her tone in the call. Then the girl and her mother left. I was confused, but I didn't want to question it anymore. I didn't want to get into their business, so I went back to bed. I woke up. It was the last day before it was time for school again. I got outside. I just wore a hoodie and jeans. After all, it was September. For some reason, there was a crowd of people. They all seemed shocked, and one of them even got out of the crowd just to throw up. I pushed some people, and when I saw what it was, I nearly lost it. It was Karen, dead on the grass. There was a puddle. The blood seemed to have been a day old, so it was a little dry. Her face was burnt to the point it was unrecognizable. However, I could tell it was her. She was wearing the same clothes she was before she went missing. Her stomach was opened wide, which had a bunch of her intestines and organs out in the open exposed. They seemed to be all torn up though, her organs, her intestines. The one thing that had made me want to throw up was the fact that her own beating heart was in her mouth. I was absolutely disgusted. I threw up right next to the body.
I don't know who would do this, and...
He paused for a brief second.
Wait, you did this, didn't you?
Then everybody looked at me. I was confused. Maybe it was because I had just thrown up. But the only questions in my mind were who would do this and why hasn't anyone called the police yet?
Killed her because she knew what you really were. You killed her because you hated her.
The kid said.
I could never kill anyone, especially after I saw.
Then the kid pushed me to the ground.
Now look at her, Daniel. She's just a lifeless corpse.
I was silent. I was being blamed for something I didn't do. And, my God, why did it have to be Karen? I hated her, but I didn't want to kill her. I never did, right? I didn't want her to die. All the kids looked at me, and eventually he had beaten me up. I was laying there, after it all. Everyone had left. When I went back home, I wondered, who did this? Why did they kill her like that? Why did they torture her like that? Then the TV was on.